Hello, good morning, guys. It's July 8th, 2020, and you're watching Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, here in the Awesome 10X channel. Shout out to whatever make you happy. I saw that he's always watching our live stream, so thank you for watching. For those who are new here, you are watching the Awesome 10X channel where we are giving you Philippines and global market updates every 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. Philippine time. Sometimes I'm late a bit, but it usually gets done between 1 to 2 p.m. So thank you guys. So today we're gonna discuss what happened in the Philippine markets. Yesterday we saw the news that the Department of Finance was trying to actually put a tax on sinful products, and right now today they're also eyeing junk food to also have additional tax for the COVID funds. Given of course, every government today is eyeing for fresh tax revenues, given this unprecedented relief that they have to provide to all the jobless in the market. Now, of course, the junk food tax heavily hit your URC because URC of the Philippines, Universal Robina Corporation, owns your Piattos, your all of your Vcut, your favorite junk food, Jack and Jill. So let me read to you the news. With the fiscal deficit expected to widen and the government under pressure to give subsidies to distressed sectors, some senators are still eyeing the imposition of taxes on the so-called junk food to raise the funds for easing the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. They're saying that the low-hanging fruits, such as taxes on the so-called sin products, have not been fully implemented yet, and the other possible sin tax, which is junk food, has zero nutritional value and targets the youth, is proven to cause obesity and other heart ailments. So I guess that this reason is one of the reasons why, of course, a higher tax rate will present some difficult margins for your URC. Just wanted you to know that I covered URC in my April 2020 inside my Awesome 10X classes. I actually wrote, why did URC go from 1.31 to 234? The legend of the Philippines' greatest food and beverage conglomerate. So we're gonna look at this news in a positive light. Although the government, of course, will look for funding, I don't see that this is a significant material impact in the company's fundamentals. To me, URC has gone from a simple corn mill in 1960s to now owning when you look at the slides, and I would say that for all those inside my paid members class inside the Awesome 10X, I want you to actually watch this. This is a 1 hour video wherein I discuss every little nook and cranny of the business of URC. But for those listeners here, just to give you a snapshot on URC, URC's business is a consumer staple. Of course, you've heard of coffee, C2. Whenever we talk about like junk food tax, we're talking about sugary drinks, we're talking about junk food, and these taxes are heavy, but it doesn't change the fact that URC is one of the most profitable companies in the world and in the Philippines. So, especially the fact that URC was able to buy some New Zealand, Australia, if you're aware of the Griffin bar, the Griffins, the snacks. So they have a lot of nutritional snack bars as well. So every food company worldwide is acknowledging that the trend for sugary, obesity related stuff, whether it be Coca-Cola, whether it be junk food companies like even Pepsi, who owns Lay's and Doritos, or even Kellogg's, who owns cereals, we have seen worldwide that they have done their best to actually not just incorporate the junk food, but also have healthy bars. If you're aware of the Kind chocolate bar, actually the Kind bar has a competition. It's called the RX bar, and it also has another competition, which is the All Natural bar. And the All Natural bar is actually owned by URC through their Oceania, which is their Australian division. So URC has Australia, New Zealand. To me, yes, URC would have a little bit of impact on this news. In fact, this news affected URC down 1 to 2%. But if you're gonna ask me, I see this more as an opportunity, guys, that we use this bad news for URC to drop near 120 or 110 or 116 and buy a great company. So use that area. I'm gonna show to you the chart today of these consumer staples. And I actually explained why a company of URC even managed to go out from $1.39, sorry, 1 peso 39 to $234, sorry, 234 pesos in a span of about it's IPO time. So of course, we give a lot of credit to Mr. John Gokongwei. He did pass away already, but his current management is very good. Current current management of URC, you still have Mr. James Go, and they hired an ex PNG executive. So Mr. Erwin Lee, tama ba? If my memory is correct, I think it's yeah, basta it's the guy who headed the PNG Head and Shoulders division and in UK. So yon, so take a look at URC. You are seeing a lot of supports here at 116 and 120. Do not be very much worried about this junk food tax. I'd say that the junk food tax is a diversion. It's a noise in the long term. So try to enter near the 115 area if you can. Now, there's another news. We got news that Metro Bank is getting a lot of money. You could see that in the press releases, Metro Bank and BDO. Of course, yesterday I discussed that BDO has a $600 million bond notes that it got that it was oversubscribed. Same case for your Metro Bank. Metro Bank successfully priced $500 million, 5.5 senior unsecured fixed rate notes at only 2.125%. So you're saying to me that these banks can get only 2.1% interest rate. And well, the dollar peso today is hitting about 49.77, 49 pesos 77. It's still comfortably below 50 pesos. So from a standpoint of a Filipino borrowing some dollars and earning something in pesos, as long as your dollar peso is stable here at about 50 pesos, 49.70, 50 pesos 50 cents, as long as it's staying here at about 49.51, these 5-year senior bonds are very much attractive for your banks. And this drop today on your banks is something that I wouldn't be worried about. People might be worried that BDO, your financials, Metro Bank are falling down. But I'm going to show you the charts of these names. Take a look at Metro Bank. We've seen Metro Bank has been a laggard. It has been a laggard for the entire March to April to May to July. Take a look for the last 4 months, despite the overall the world markets have gone all-time highs, especially the technology in the US, but the banks have not rallied at all. The reason is simple. The banks really are laggards because definitely the market is worried about their non-provisional loan risks, the default risks, and so forth. So that's the reason why they are underperforming, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. As a sector, financials worldwide are bad, whether it be Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan. But I'm telling you a few things. Metro Bank's book value remains to be well above 60 pesos. You're able to buy it at half of their book value. And so at these levels of 37 and 33, those negative news are being priced in for the worst. Now, granted, you might say, well, this is worse than financial crisis, than 2008 financial crisis. This is worse than the 1997 Asian financial crisis. I would agree with you there that these times are really one of the worst times in the banking space. But you have to understand that there is money to be made in the company's worst times. In fact, it wasn't, I think it was Warren Buffett who said that you want to find great companies that are currently in the operating table because they're just in the emergency room. They will recover somehow. I think something like that. He didn't say it straight like that, but I remember something like that. It was such a visual comment. And is Metro Bank in the hospital emergency room right now? I would say that yes, but at these levels of 37, it can go to about 36 or 33. Take note that these drops can be entered. And then, of course, recently, all the time, every time it goes 40 to 43, you do have a lot of sellers. That said, your banks can still be traded. You've got a huge range, 33 to 43. That's a 10 peso range that you could trade for Metro Bank maybe in the next 3 to 6 months. Now, for BDO, so we can take a look at the ranges. I'm telling you that BDO is also a bank that got money. So don't be scared. BDO here has resistance at 113, has a lot of support here at 85. People are saying, well, it's going down. So maybe where is the support? The support can be anywhere from 94. It can go as bad as 90. But I'd say that any drops near the lows, you ladder into your position. For those listeners, what's laddering into a position? I don't understand ladders. Well, ladders, it means that you are entering at levels. Level 1, level 2, level level 3. It's like you have like a ground floor, basement, and then basement 1, basement 2. So let's say your ground floor is 95, your basement 1 is 90, and then your basement 2 is 85. So you want to ladder into your position slowly, maybe 5% of your entire allocation. So let's say I have a 1 million pesos, 5% is 50,000. That means I'm gonna buy BDO 50,000 here at 95. I'm gonna buy 50,000 pesos at 90, and I'm gonna buy another 50,000 pesos here at 85. So we actually teach about this 5, 10, 15% rule, and I'm just like that telling you about these things for your information, so that it can actually help you. You can invest, not losing sleep, and you're really investing in a good company here. BDO, of course, is the largest bank in the Philippines, so there's nothing to be so worried about. We're gonna take a look at your statistics for the day. So the index is 6,285. What happened in the market, in the Philippine market? So you could see that the trades are still very much in your speculative names. Your AppV managed to rise 10% to 27.9. So we have been seeing AppV trade anywhere from about 18 pesos to 60 pesos. So that's a huge, huge range. So like even in the past few days, every time it goes below 25, it has been being bought. So I'm gonna show to you later the chart of AppV. But you could see that BPI here, 74.50, has been strong. This is a company that is in the banking space, and you will see the outperformance of BPI now just 74.5. That's just 10% lower from its March ECQ days. So it tells you that from the banking space, BPI is now being perceived by the market as a more leaner, leaner, meaner machine rather than the other banks. So it has to do with BPI cutting a lot of costs, making a lot of very hard hard bullets. They had to downsize their workforce. They had to close a lot of stores. And to be honest, in an economy in the future where your online digital banking will be the bigger proponent, lowering your costs and expenses, and increasing your deposits would be a digital format. And so the world is paying a lot of premium to digital related banks, or forward looking banks. And if you compare actually Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan in the USA, these two banks are more well off versus say Bank of America or Wells Fargo, or let alone Citigroup. So they're even in the bad neighborhood. Of course, there are good companies in a bad neighborhood, and that's what's happening. So in the Philippines, are we a bad neighborhood? I'm gonna tell you the straight, honest answer here. Yes, Philippines is in a bad neighborhood, and you could clearly see this entire world. Worldwide, Philippines is a laggard for the last 5 to 10 years. But how do we do this? Like, if this is a laggard company, like a laggard country, what do we do to recover? We can. There are companies that you can make money from. Definitely, the Philippines right now is trying to do a lot of investments, capex investments in the right field, which is broadband connectivity, and we're seeing those things happening. Okay, so Converge IPO is coming out. We're gonna wait how the prospectus on that will come about. But take a look. If SM here, you know that Geo, Reliance Industries of India, which is also a traditional company, has already partnered with Facebook to really become more digital. And I think in the Philippines, SM and Ayala Corp are big conglomerates that are, they're trying to do their best. You've got Globe trying to explain to the market that they can do GCash, digital banking with the help of Alibaba through Ant Financials. You've got Tel, which is PLDT, who has a partnership with Tencent for their Pay Maya. And so I do believe that the Filipinos in general has some way to grow their money if they know which blue chips are fast forward in thinking, like future forward tayo. Uh, Broadband is an important sector to grow, and PLDT has shown more than 70% growth in their broadband connectivity, despite the fact that the internet connection of PLDT is far worse than a lot of other providers. I've seen my friends use Converge, and they pity me that I am using such a low tech broadband. But nevertheless, my low tech broadband internet is still growing because of course people like me, households like me, rely on internet every day for their work life, whether they're streaming or they're just ensuring communication to their loved ones. How can we communicate with our loved ones without paying a PLDT or a globe line? So you can understand the recurring revenues of these industries will remain there. The cash flows are big. And of course, PLDT will report their earnings this August and pay dividends 39 pesos. You see that outperformance 1348. Everyone who has been listening to us, you are aware that we like these stable guys like PLDT, Globe. Nevertheless, okay, let's talk about some speculative names. Okay, so AppV is speculative, as you could see, and people play this like they trade it like people's emotion, and there's nothing wrong with that. I could see that people are trading this through their emotions, not about fundamentals, and it's fine. I can understand because trading is a reflection of human emotion. So you could see that people got in here at about 18 to 20, made some money here at 27. They probably remember, I didn't buy AppV kasi before when it was 27, then it went to 40, then it went to 60. So some people might say, maybe this is my chance. Okay, what I can tell you right now is that so far, as long as it's trading above 23 or above 20 pesos, then okay, maybe you're correct. Maybe it does go to about 37 or maybe it does go to 40 pesos. With these kinds of things naman, it's all about the greater fool theory, right? So parang if people believe that this chart is 27 is a support, my loss is about 20 and my upside is about 12, then I can still make money. So today's volume traded on AppV proved to me that there are a lot of people who believes in those kinds of games. You could see it naman eh. How much trading value is there in AppV? Quite significant, most active eh. So I'd say that yes, the Philippine market has a lot of speculators, and you let the people who wants to trade them trade because it's a valid it's a legal, as you know, this is a legal casino. They can do that. They can trade speculative names, penny stocks, and everything else in the world. They can trade anything. Market value is 6.1 billion pesos. Advancers 82, decliners 106, unchanged 44. In fact, in my global market update, I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what's happening to some companies that are bankrupt that are being traded by the world globally. So I'm not this is a human fact of life. People will trade anything that they believe risk reward ratios are present. So okay, so we've got gainers PLDT, BPI, SM Globe. You've got okay, so let's take a look if there's risk reward ratio even in the loser space. So medyo late reaction, the syntax products, AGI down 4.5%. You've got more decliners today. You've got Foreignet selling 376 million pesos. But I think what's happening right now, not just in the Philippines, but also like worldwide, we have a lot of local money. Chinese have been supporting, local Chinese have been opening accounts in in their respective countries. You could see what happened in Citic Securities. This is a Chinese version of Citi Securities Online. This is the Citisec of China. This is the largest brokerage firm for like the Robin Hoods of China. You could see that it materially went up 50%. This is a significant move from about 14 to 21. So I would say that in the Philippines, although nobody discusses this, I would say that the Philippine markets, Call Financial, would probably have good earnings come earnings report. Nevertheless, of course, nobody trades Call Financial, but I know that they pay about 90 centavos a year. So at the end of the day, this is a move, this 15 to 21 move, I think is a fundamental move. So maybe you're saying, my God, Call Financial, can I trade this? Because I am a Call Financial trader. Well, you can, but look at the volume. It's very few. So there's no liquidity in Call Financial, my friend. But if you want to buy Call Financial, you have to buy it for the long term. Because one day, if it goes to 21 and goes down to 19, baka hindi ka rin makalabas. Nevertheless, I would understand why Call Financial this year is growing more than about, is this a 50% move? The reason why it went up, my friend, is because a lot of friends are opening Call Financial accounts during this COVID time. And we're seeing this present in all throughout the world. Brokerage firms are doing well in COVID pandemic. People are really trading stocks, whether it's in the Philippines, in China, in USA. worldwide, guys. So I just want to tell you guys that you can make money worldwide. It's not focus our eyes only in one sector. We can make money worldwide. So, ano ba, pwede ba natin mag-trade today? Yeah, so yung you can see naman PSEI yan. So I'm gonna watch what's happening in the gold space. So let me show to you again what's happening in your Apex, in your Nickel Asias. Diba? Let's take a look at those charts. So maybe you got surprised, Call Financial is listed. Tagal-tagal mo na pala nag-call trading, di mo alam na Call Financial is listed. Yes, guys, Call Financial got listed at piso 1999, something like that. So it is a 20 bagger move for those who got in to Call Financial. No, I think it was in 1999. They got listed year 2005. Tama ba? Tama ba, guys? Sorry. Nakakahiya kasi Call Financial ako na first job. Well, second job. I used to work in ING. So, anyway, when I was working there, tapos na yung IPO. So, if I was an employee, ang galing, sana may piso ako na Call Financial. Do you know that kung may piso IPO ka ng Call Financial, every year, nakakabagger ka. Kasi every year, nagbabayad yung call ng piso every year. So, di ba, parang may bagger ka na, 20 bagger ka na, may piso dividend ka pa every year. Ang galing, di ba? Edward Lee for the win. EKL. Okay, sige. Dapat ang ticker nun, EKL. Joke lang. Call Financial. Yan yung ticker. Call Financial. So, yeah, sige na nga, tingnan natin tong story na to. 20 years, of course, for the last, yeah, so nag-list yan nung mga 2006. So, grabe, no? The story of the EKL story. The 1 peso move to 22. Mag-all-time high po ba si Call Financial? Ano sa tingin nyo, guys? Hindi kasi siya nagtre-trade with active volume eh. So, mahirap i-trade. Pero kung trading lang, kung may volume to, papatulan natin to, no? Sorry. Bigyan mo kasi ng volume, guys. Call Financial, EKL, bigyan mo ng volume si Call Financial Group. Um, anyway, it's a good company, but it's hard to trade these things because there's no volume. So yun, I want you guys to I urge you to look at some companies, maybe take a look at mining. Yes, gold is doing well. So Apex Mining is 133 now. We have been discussing na mukhang nag-uptrend siya and so far so good. Any drops seem to be supported by the bulls. So uptrend pa to si Apex mo. Your Nickel Asia, I think, is having some collision course at 230, but that's fine. Some collision course is not a bad thing given na dito dati sa 220 nagkaroon ng double top. So this is like a double top. But I think it's gonna consolidate above 2 pesos and then it's gonna try to 230, 240, 260. So this is an uptrend in my view. So hawak-hawak lang. What's happening in your Mac and Bloom? These are good, guys. They moved up pero patay si Mac today. 7, bagsak sa 620. So, balik na naman sa 6 peso move. Si Bloomberry, medyo tinatamaan sa 8 pesos, pero good, 820. So, ano nangyari sa ating Manila Water? Good move, pero it's having a hard time in that 15 to 16 area, no? Hindi pa nababreak. Pero, babalik din yan. So, breakdown today, drops again. Maybe drop here at 13 is an opportunity for you to enter these strong names in the Philippines. So Manila Water is one of the names that you want to check out. Call Financial, all-time high ba to? Converge, tingnan natin. So wala kasi nagtre-trade niyan, pero bantay-bantayan natin. So yun lang. Thank you guys and see you again later tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks.